Has anybody got something to say? I'm a pilot. Hi, I'm Marty. I flew these with these. I fly these with them. Got a wife, kids, play golf, band, happy life, and then Corona. It's a drag, but you're not alone. Have a laugh with me on... G'day. Today I want to talk about creativity. I love drawing, I love music, I love anything to do with creating something from scratch, and you end up with something that didn't exist before. Right now, you have got a fair bit of time off. You might like to explore being creative. The number one rule of being creative is just don't care. Don't be embarrassed about it. Don't be embarrassed about the result. Put aside all your expectations. That's the key to being creative, is just giving yourself the freedom to give it a go, and whatever happens doesn't actually matter. It's the process that matters. I'm going to show you how I created an album cover for one of my mates' songs that he's written. I hope you enjoy it. Cheers. This is a sketch that my daughter did. She's 11 years old. Really proud of it. Hello, YouTube. Wanting to talk about creativity. Get my hat off and get a bit hot. Jim, one of the guys from work, he's a first officer in Perth, 737 FO. Really great bloke. He's done a song and he wants me to design an album cover for it. A little, to put it on Spotify. Mate, I tried the first time. This is what I came up with. Wasn't quite to his taste because he's such a good bloke. I didn't tell him to get nicked. Having one more shot at it. He wanted something a little less skeleton-y. So I'll give it a go. And I thought it was a good opportunity just to show you my spin on the art of creativity. So let's give it a whirl. I'm starting with this thing's called a Wacom. It's got an electronic pen. In effect, it's an electronic sketch pad. It's connected to a laptop. It's such a powerful thing for drawing. I like sketching, I like cartooning, I like painting, I like music, I like anything to do with creativity. Now here's the deal with creativity. Everyone has creativity, even if you don't know it. If you think about your life, I bet there's some aspect where you are creating. Most people point to their kids as their main creation, but also there are other aspects of your life. Think about that engine that you changed on the car that you're doing up, or the garden that you made that rose bushes just look perfect. That's all acts of creativity, and they're so important, I think, for just your rounded life. You need to be creative at some point in your life. And I reckon at the end of our lives, since we're being a bit philosophical, one of the only things you're going to be able to point to are the things that you created. Everything else will wash away and be forgotten. But to me, they're probably the most important things. Work's really important. It gives us a centre and meaning. Family obviously is so important, but also the things that you create are really important. And if you can increase the amount of creativity in your life, I think you'll find your life is a little bit happier for it. So with that, let's get on with it. So the very first thing, I've got a blank slate of, in effect, electronic paper, and I can increase the size, decrease the size, and so I've made it into a square because the square's the album cover that he's going to need. He wants an image of something to do with going down a river. It's the song's called Down the River, and it's quite a dark song about relationships. So I'm thinking now a bridge over a river, and as it gets towards the bridge, it gets much darker. So we're looking at a silhouette and maybe some figures on top of the bridge. That's the general vibe I'm going for. So the first thing I'm going to do is just, I normally look up just on images on Google. I just look up just images of a river and maybe a bridge. So I put river and bridge here, and I just pick one that I think's arresting. So now we're talking. So something like that. I like that image there, that triple bridge. I'm going to think about using that in a river sort of situation. So I've got my pen here. You can change your pen. Now I haven't used this in a long while. My boy uses this a lot. Then if I draw like that, it's quite thick. I want to so I can take that off. I want just the pen to be a little less thick. I've never used this program before, so it took a bit of getting used to, but I'm not scared of that. You just go with it. Give it a go, experiment. There is no rules. The rule about being creative is that there's no rules. After a while I sorted it out. And it's like measure with a micrometer, cut with an axe. As long as you're getting the result you want, just go for it. In the end, I sorted out all the little settings on the computer program, and I was able to step into that mode where I start creating and not thinking. Just let your heart go and give it a shot. Yeah, that's feeling pretty good. I just want those a bit smaller, but I'm liking that. So I'll just start again. So if I had a line, like a perspective line, it'd be like that. Yeah, that's looking good. So, and then the first bridge would go like that. The second bridge is a bit taller, goes like that. And the final bridge, smaller again, but goes like that. That's looking good. I'm feeling good about that. That's roughly what I'm aiming for. And then the banks of the river would just come round like this, and ditto here, and like that. And then the actual bridge itself would go up and over and down and away again like that. And then I'm starting to feel that that's pretty good. So you can see I've had a couple of false starts. To begin with, I didn't even know how to use the program, but I got what I wanted. I gave it a go, wasn't really happy, scrap that. There's no judgment when you're creating. Then you go for another one, start to feel it, feeling the vibe, and on the third time's a charm, I'm starting to really like what I've got. I'll start time-lapsing it from here on in, but you'll get an idea of the fact that there's no rules, there's no judgment, you're allowed to get things wrong because there is no wrong. It's so hard for us as pilots to think in that mindset, but it's so enjoyable. Very quickly, I stopped talking to the camera while I was filming this because I got into that bliss mode where I'm forgetting about being and I'm just living in the moment and I'm creating. I ended up with something I'm really proud of.
You think you know what's right. You never tried to see my side. You seem so innocent. Telling me you're here to help. I will be running. You're rattling my cage. I try so hard to tame your rage. No, I won't step aside. Gritting teeth, we say goodbye. I will keep running. I will be running. 'Cause I'm not the man you used to know. You won't trade me down the river. I'll jump aboard, I'll rock your boat, but you won't trade me down the river. Down the river. You're picking all these fights with no one game to pull you aside. Are you a cry for help? I can't take this holding cell. You will be running. You will be running. 'Cause I'm not the man you used to know. You won't trade me down the river. I'll jump aboard, I'll rock your boat, but you won't trade me down the river. Down the river. Down the river.
So give yourself permission to be creative. Realise that after we're long gone, ashes and dust, all that will be left is the things that we've created, whether that be our children, a garden, an engine rebuild, or perhaps a song or a piece of art. Go out, give it a go. Remember, there are no rules. Have a great one. You're not alone.
You will be running, 'cause I'm not the man you used to know. You won't trade me down the river. I'll jump aboard, I'll rock your boat, but you won't trade me